It doesn't matter how great your pitch is. If you can't ask for the order, you don't get paid. See, closing isn't about convincing. It's not like there's some, everybody wants to know, like, what's the perfect close? The perfect close is the perfect open. The perfect close is about certainty. You don't just get certainty at the end of the conversation. Certainty starts right in those very first 4 seconds. So if you can't close, you can't sell. And today I'm gonna give you 17 ways to close without sounding pushy or desperate or unaware. But before we get to it, just remember that all of these are dependent on you having absolute certainty in who you are, in your offer, and in the company that you represent. Remember, your close won't work if your mindset is wired for fear or doubt or permission seeking. The reason most people don't close is because they're so far away from certainty and they're trying to be liked instead of being the authority and the expert, instead of leading the conversation. Your prospect doesn't need a friend. What they need is an authority. What they need is an expert. What they need is an advisor. They need a guide, and the guide has to go first. So tip number 1, decide in advance that you're going to ask for the order. Don't hope that it goes well. Commit to making that ask. Commit to moving them from one commitment objective to the next commitment objective to the next commitment objective. And the moment that they begin to ask the buying questions and send the buying signals, and you are sure that you have absolute certainty in them, you close. You don't wait around. Don't oversell. Number 2, you want to detach yourself from the outcome, but never the close. See, you're not attached whether they say yes or no. You can't always control that. But what you are attached to is helping them make the decision one way or the other. That's for sure. Again, certainty isn't about you being forceful. It's based on emotional congruence. And language is how you transfer that level of certainty. Tip number 3 is you want to use a phrase like, let's get you started. So see, don't ask if they want to buy. You want to assume that they do. You assume that they're ready. If they're asking you, like, how much does this cost? What are the payments? How long does this last? What's the warranty? Those are buying signals. As soon as you answer the question, you say, look, the payment can be broken into 3 simple payments. We get a basic deposit from you today, 2 equal payments of $500. Let's get you started today, right? And you want to lead with that level of certainty and clarity. Tip number 4, I want you to say this. Jim, the only problem you'll have is that you didn't get started with me 6 months ago. Jim, the only problem you're going to have, it's absolute certainty. Jim, the only problem you're going to have is that you didn't start with me 6 months ago. So it goes from absolute certainty, and then you hear the little chuckle at the end. See, what this does is this builds forward focus. It's part of future pacing. Even when you're closing, you're always future pacing. Jim, the only problem you'll have is that you didn't start with me 6 months ago. Tip number 5, ask this. Fair enough? Fair enough? See, fair enough is one of those, I'm going to check in with you. I'm kind of dropping in with you. I'm looking for a micro agreement. Fair enough? Sound right? You with me? All of these are said in the reasonable man tonality. Like, I'm a reasonable person. You're reasonable. I mean, that sounds fair enough, right? Fair enough? See, what it does is it removes pressure and it invites agreement with the other person. Tip number 6, I want you to use the word exactly. Exactly. So they ask you a question and you say, well, the warranty's 6 months, so I can call you anytime and the labor and the parts are covered. Exactly. With absolute exactly. Because what it does is it reinforces the micro agreement. So when they say something positive, or you give the answer, you want exactly. And that's why this is such a perfect fit for you. Exactly. It's all about building these micro agreements. See, the close should never be a surprise. They should never be surprised that you're asking for the order. Every step of your conversation should build towards a very confident yes. So tip number 7 is I want you to stack small yeses. Get these little micro agreements on needs, on outcomes, on timing before you ever present the offer. You may get 17 micro agreements before you ever make the offer. Fair enough? Sound right? You with me? Tip number 8. Ask the person, do you like the idea? Like, do you like the idea? See, after explaining the benefit, here's the feature, here's the benefit. Does that idea make sense? Do you like the idea? Don't wait till the end to see. Don't wait till the end for them to say, well, I'm not sure about, this part of it, or, part 4. I'm not sure about the warranty. I'm not sure about the implementation. Ask them. As soon as you talk about the feature and the benefit, ask, do you like the idea? It's said in the, I really want, like, you like the idea? It's said in the reasonable man tonality and in the, I really want to know. Like, I really want to know. Do you like the idea? Does it make sense? Fair enough? Great. Let's go on. You're leading them. You're the authority. You're the expert. Use this exactly because you're going to use this when you are going to bridge their logic to your offer. So what this does is this keeps them emotionally connected. So I'm not just saying exactly, I'm saying exactly, and then I'm going to say because. I'm going to give them a reason why they're right. So the warranty's good for 3 years and I get covered with all the labor, and the parts. Exactly. Because we want you to have absolute certainty that regardless of what happens, we're going to be with you every step of the way. Fair enough? You see that? If I know that their logic and one of the things that matter most to them is knowing that my company or me are going to be with them after the sale, and they're asking about a warranty problem and they're wanting to make sure that the warranty covers, the parts and the service, I'm going to say exactly, because we want to be with you every step of the way. Fair enough? Makes sense? Tip number 10, say this. Can you see how this will help? And again, this is in the, I really like the questioning tonalities of, I really want to know. Can you see how this would help? So when I tell them about, all the parts and all the labor and all the services covered in the warranty because we want to be there. Do you see how that could help you? See how that can help you? This is just kind of a light check-in, and it re-anchors the point. It keeps them thinking. It keeps them thinking like, wow, they've thought of everything. When we're dealing with kind of objections, time, money, whatever it is, you have to understand that most objections really are just about uncertainty. That's all they are. When somebody's asking or telling you that they want to check with their spouse, or they want to talk to the boss, or, they want to run it by the board, what they're really saying is, you haven't built enough certainty in me right now to make a decision. And so what we want to learn to do is we want to learn how we can advance the conversation while overcoming the objection. We want to advance it. So what we have to kind of do is we've got to kind of deflect it, and then we need to loop back to building certainty, not defend or explain the position. So this is done when somebody says, like, let me check with my wife. What am I going to do? Geez, Jim, aren't you the man of the family? Come on, put on your big boy pants and make the decision, Jim. That's not going to get me anywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, look, that sounds perfectly reasonable to me. Look, I'm married, so I get it. When I'm making decisions like this, I want to run this stuff by my wife, Holly, too, But let me ask you this. Do you like the idea? Like, does the idea, do you see how this could help you? Yeah, I can. Exactly. And what's even better yet, and now I'm going to go and I'm going to start to build more certainty. I understand he's not certain enough, and he needs to get validation. He needs to make sure that he's going to have her buy-in, and I haven't given him enough certainty to have that. Hey, let me interrupt this for a second. Before we go any further, I want you to pause this video, and I want you to go download a unique tool that I created that you could use to start changing the way you close deals starting today. It's called the 17 Closing Moves that you can use right now today. And these aren't just theory. These are real in the moment phrases that I've used and the mind shift changes that I've used to help clients move from hesitation to decision without being pressured, without all the hype, and no second guessing. Now, most people don't lose the sale because the product isn't right, or the market's wrong, or that the leads suck. They lose it because the close is unclear. We create confusion, and confused people do nothing. This guide is going to help you stay in the role of the originator from start to finish. So in the final decision, it just feels natural, not forced. And I'm going to walk you right through everything that I've learned, exactly what to say, how to say it, and most importantly, how to lead with certainty when it matters most. Because sales doesn't respond to pressure. It really doesn't. Sales responds to clarity and certainty. Click right now in the description below. Download this guide. Choose the 3 closing moves that match your voice, that match your tonality, that match your style. And just use one. Just use one today. You don't need any more time. What you need is more clarity at the close. And that starts before you get to the close. It starts in your training and your practice. So let's make that shift right now. And then come right back and I'll have more to share in the video. Here's tip number 11. When you get the objection, it's a welcomed objection. That's a great question. And now I'm going to redirect just like I did. And I'm going to go for this new micro agreement. That's a great question. And here's how this works. It's a great question. And here's how this works. And I'm going to answer the question and then I'm going to ask them. Make sense? Make sense? Do you see how that will help? Do you see how that's going to help? I want them if they've asked the question, I want them when they're done to affirm that it helps. Here's tip number 12. You want to deflect instead of defend. So when they say, look, I need to think about it. I need to run it by the boss. Of course you do. Let me ask you this. You like the idea? Does the idea make sense to you? Yeah, great. Super. Let me ask you this. What part do you want some more clarity on? What part do you want some more clarity on as you think about it? What can I help you with? What resource can I give you? Like, remember, you're working with them in collaboration, right? This isn't an antagonistic relationship. This is you kind of working with them. You're helping them solve the problem. That's what sales is, right? You're helping them solve what is it that I can do to help bring some clarity? Tip number 13. You want a future pace, not just this positive outcome. Like just imagine how great it's going to be and how confident you're going to feel or how wonderful it's going to, that's good. But you also want a future pace, the cost of inaction. And you can do that with a really good question. Jim, just out of curiosity, what happens if nothing changes in the next 90 days? And then just wait to hear what happens. It's depending on what, if they're waiting on making a decision to put an AC in their house, nothing good's going to happen in the next 90 days. If they're waiting on a new CRM, nothing good's going to happen in 90 days. Typically, you are there for one of 2 reasons: to help them solve a problem or to help them get a future desire met. If it's a problem, it's not getting better in 90 days. And if it's a future desire, they're losing out on of having the fulfillment and the sense of relief and certainty. Okay, tip 14 is we want to loop them back to the benefits with belief. Look, I hear that. And here's why I'm still confident that this is a great fit for you. Geez, it seems it's a little high on the price. That's a little bit out of budget. I hear that. And here's why I'm still confident that this is a great fit for you. I hear you. I understand. Geez, I don't know if we're going to be able to, get this thing, on board here the next quarter. I hear that. And here's why I'm still confident that this is absolutely a great fit for you. Well, we're looking at 5 or 6 other companies. I hear that. And here's why I'm still confident that this is the perfect fit for you. Okay, tip 15. When we're asking for the order, the close is the final moment of clarity. And so what we want to do is we want to make it simple. We want to make it strong. And we want to make it easy for somebody to say yes to. So you want to say, Jim, why don't we do this? Let's do this. Let's do this. See, it's like I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just do this? Let's do this. It's clear, it's inviting, it's you being the lead. Look, let's do this. Let's get a deposit today. And here's what we'll do. You're covered under the warranty. If when you go to talk to your wife, Michelle, if she comes back and it's an absolute no, your deposit's covered, 100% refundable. That's never going to go away. I'll refund your money. And if she's ready to go, this way you've secured your position. Make sense? Fair enough? Tip number 16 is this. Remember that you can always lower the action threshold. See, the action threshold is the consequence felt by the buyer. So say this, like, let's just start with the base plan today. If I'm selling a year-long program, what I'll do is, let's say the year-long program is $2,000. I'll say this. Why don't we do this? Why don't you just make a deposit for $500? Jump into the program for the first 90 days. And if at the end of the first 90 days, it's not a fit for you, no problem. I'll refund you your money. 100%, no questions asked. But if you're like most of our people, you're going to find that it's absolute perfect fit. And then what we'll do is we'll apply the $500 to the full payment. And as a matter of fact, what I'll do is if you make the decision today, I'll even deliver on the bonuses. Fair enough? Let's start with the base plan today. Let's do this. Let's get you started with the base plan today. We'll get the deposit down today. We'll secure your spot. If at the end of 90 days it's not a fit, I'll refund you your money. But if it is a fit, if you're like most of the people who come through the program, you're going to love this. You're going to see that it really helps you. And then I'll apply the $500 you paid to the full balance. And if you make the decision today or tomorrow, I'll still throw in all the bonuses that we're offering today. There's nothing for you to lose here. Fair enough? Here's tip number 17. Use a simple ask. Don't complicate it. Are you ready to move forward now? Are you ready to move forward now? Are you ready to move forward now? Or would you prefer that I check back with you tomorrow? You ready to go today? Or would you prefer me to check back with you tomorrow? It's really simple. You ready to go today? Or do you want me to check back with you tomorrow? That's all. I don't need to be tricky and fancy. I don't need to be overcomplicated. And please, when somebody buys from you, don't say thank you. You can say thank you, but the last thing that they should hear from you is this word: congratulations. Congratulations. You've made a great decision. With absolute certainty, congratulations. Jim, congratulations. Hey, thank you so much for the order. Appreciate that. And I just want to say congratulations. Like, you made a fantastic decision for your family today. You want them leaving with absolute certainty. You want them leaving feeling like, I made the right decision. People seek validation. People seek knowing that they've made the right. Nobody wants to look foolish, especially adults. As adult learners, our problem with education is we don't mind putting in the time and the money, but we want it to pay off. We don't want to put time and money and then look foolish. We want to know that we've made the right decision. Congratulations. You've made a great decision for yourself today. This was a really smart decision because you're giving them certainty. Look, if what I've shared with you, if any part of what I've shared today has helped you, don't just click away. I want you to take a next step. Download the 17 Closing Moves Guide. It's free. It costs you nothing. It's specific. It's going to give you tools that I promise you that you can start using, boom, immediately on your very next call. Not someday, next call. Not when you feel more confident, right now. And once you've gotten into that into your hands, I want you to watch the next video. It's called The Mindset of a Winner. Because see, closing isn't just about what you say. It's about how you see yourself. You'll never outperform your own self-image, your own self-concept. So let's upgrade that next. I'll see you in the next video.